Okay, good morning, everyone. It is 10:01 a.m. Leah Shad is entering the waiting room right now. I will call to order the February 18th, 2021 Special Selectmen's Meeting, Budget Workshops. To order, all three selectmen are present, and Leah is here. So I think we can get started. Orla, are you ready? Oh, I got to give you screen sharing capabilities.
Apple.com should be able to answer that question and more.
Hi, Leah. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Okay. Feel free to get started if you'd like.
Okay. So if you have the budget in front of you, I see the letter. I'm not sure if you have the budget too.
Yeah.
Basically, we're pretty flat from last year. We had a slight increase in our phone costs and office supplies, but other than that, we're pretty steady. Some things went down. We have a new online filing system, so we're able to cut postage, and hopefully that will continue to go down. But other than that, nothing really new at the probate court. I will say, in the time of COVID, the court never closed. None of the probate courts in the state did. We stayed open and we remain open. And my clerks are doing a great job.
Okay. Good. Any questions?
Leah, do we see anything in the future with costs going up? You know, rent, that type of thing. Where are we in all of that cycle?
So last August, we signed a new 5-year extension on our lease. So the rent should hold pretty steady, although there is a slight increase every year based on a federal index. I think this year it went up. I think I'm paying $35 more a month. So it's very minimal. So we're locked in for at least for the next 5 years, and we have 5 one-year extensions after that. The rent should not be an issue.
And in the rent, is the heat included?
Yeah, all the utilities are included.
Okay. Just looking at what the market is doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of
No,
going crazy.
We're lucky we have a great spot, and we have a landlord who has been really cooperative and let us extend the lease. So it was good. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Good.
Any other questions?
So pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you all for continuing to support the court, and I hope all is well in Thompson.
Great. Thank you, Leah.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you
Leah.
all. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Am I the only one hearing clicking?
I was hearing clicking too.
Yeah, I was hearing it too.
Maybe it was just on Leah's end then.
Why do I keep losing the agenda?
So next up is going to be Teague. So we're just waiting for Ann to get in. What are your thoughts on next week as far as meeting for budget review, final budget reviews? I know I had hoped to do Saturday. I hope you are both still available for Saturday.
I'm not sure.
Tentatively, I'm available.
Okay.
Yeah, tentatively. Can let you know a little more precise later. I can let you know.
Are we thinking possibly Tuesday evening, Thursday evening?
That works for me.
How about you, Ken?
Evenings are fine.
Okay. So it looks like there's a fire advisory committee meeting on that Thursday and then recreation meeting on that Tuesday. Town meeting is Wednesday, so we couldn't do that.
Amy, sorry
Yep.
to interrupt you. I had it down as a daytime meeting for Tuesday.
Okay.
I have commitments that night.
Okay. Suzanne, how does that work for you?
Daytime or nighttime?
For daytime on Tuesday.
I don't know. Nope. What's the date of that? That's
23rd.
23rd.
23rd. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the 2nd. The 2nd is I have a lot of COVID vaccine clinics And I have to get back to you. Right now, it looks like it's okay. It depends on how long a meeting. And if it's later afternoon, that works better for me.
What are you open and what is your schedule like, Orla, that day?
I have a commitment at 7 o'clock that night.
Oh.
So I'm free until 6:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do later in the day that day?
That might work for me. I have to
Maybe-
double check the master calendar that I have for all of these COVID clinics, because I have 7 or 8 of them that I have to help assist at.
Yeah. Something like maybe 2 to 5 or
Trying to find that.
1 to 5 latest. I mean, I don't think we want to be spending too much time so we can keep our minds fresh.
Yes, 2 o'clock is better later in the afternoon. I'm just looking for something right now, and it will help me if I can just find it. I can figure out if there's.
As
if I
long as
need
we
it
can,
that day.
yeah, and you can think about it, crunch your schedule and I can touch base with you guys on Monday.
Here we go, master list.
As long as we get the agenda for that Tuesday in on Monday. How does Thursday look for you, Orla?
Thursday on the 25th, I have an NDDH at 3 o'clock, but let's see.
Is that Zoom?
It is Zoom. Yeah. So anytime up to then.
Okay.
Were you thinking evening though, right? I think these should, honestly, I think these should be geared more for evening if we could.
I was only for the public.
And that's for the public. If anybody wants to participate, it can be difficult during the day.
So regards to Thursday, 3 to 5 is the NDDH meeting. I'm free before that and I'm free after that.
We could-
I'm on Thursday, the 25th. I'm gonna be. The earliest I would be back would be 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, so maybe we could do that evening 5 to 8,
Yeah, that would work.
something like that. Tentatively. Let's say
ten.
tentatively Tuesday 2 to 5 and Thursday 5 to 8.
Okay.
And then you guys can just confirm on Monday.
Okay, so say that again, because
Tuesday 2 to 5 p.m.
Tuesday.
Thursday 5 to 8.
Okay.
And if we can still do that Saturday,
What was that Tuesday?
2 to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then just let me know if Saturday still works for just that final stamp of approval. if possible.
So we won't do anything on the 22nd and we won't do anything on the 24th, right, Amy?
Well, 24th is the town meeting.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll get rid of that.
I don't think the 22nd. Do you guys think 3 days if we need is enough?
It
I
should
mean, a
be
lot of
enough.
the budgets were pretty straightforward.
It's true.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
And what time did we say on the Thursday?
5 to 8.
Yeah, I think that would be better to have that one, a meeting, a late one.
Mhm.
I mean, evening one.
Evening one.
Thursday, 5 to 8. Geez, I don't know why I can't get this in. All right, I got them.
Okay.
So far, those look like good days. And then the Saturday, I will double check because my whole schedule changed.
Okay.
All right, what time is our next person coming in?
10:15. 4 minutes.
10:15. I'm gonna just mute for a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
I think.
Hi, Ann.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Do you want
And
hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Due to circumstances.
Due to circumstances beyond our control, right?
Oh, you got that right.
Man.
Hi,
But,
Ann. This is Orla here. I've just got a quick question. Would it be easier for me to share your documents or would you like to share them directly?
Orla, it's fine if you share my documents.
Okay.
That's great. I tend to get distracted, so I'll try. I thought that I would just start from some of what we're seeing. I have a pretty brief
Okay.
presentation. I think the statement kind of speaks for itself, but I'll just highlight a few things in that document. And then if people have questions, you can certainly manipulate through that so that
Okay. Sounds good. So if you, at the moment, I'm just putting the funding request in, and as you see, it's the list of the services you guys offer. So
yeah, I have 3 years here of budget, or 2.5 years, so that if anybody has any specific questions, I can just go back and forth and answer that here. But you also have that document as well.
okay, I can stop sharing right now so you can talk. Is that okay?
Yeah, am I starting right now? Are we?
Oh,
This
we're
is
just waiting for Suzanne.
okay. Perfect. You let me know when I go.
Let me see if
Yeah,
Suzanne,
I'm just making a cup of coffee.
okay.
So go ahead.
Go?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that it probably goes without saying that we have had a very busy year. The budget that I'm reporting on right now actually includes about 3 months of COVID related support. And then of course we rolled that over again at the end of June and continued to support people through COVID. So as I said in my report, we saw, what did we see, $175,000 increase in the value of services during that budget year. 41 more households in the first 6 months of fiscal year 2021, 105 new households in 1920. So I always look at the value of services, and then I always look at the new households. You know, the idea is that we want to be moving people out and moving people in. We have moved some households out during this time, believe it or not, and I think that that's due to some really good case management. Therese Horvath, our lead case manager, is like she's like a detective in looking for where she can help folks out, and not always at direct cost to the agency. That's going to be very helpful going forward. I really want to finish this whole thing up by talking about the housing crisis that we will be facing very soon. But I'll sort of set that aside for now. Fuel assistance, Amy had called me earlier in the year to talk about fuel assistance and what was happening with that because we hadn't used any Thompson fuel funds. Well, we were given way more in fuel assistance. We thought that it was a mistake through the state this year, and we're going to use that first. So we've turned that back, but we are still requesting fuel assistance for next year because we don't know what's going to happen. We were given a great amount of money. We don't know how long that will last, but we don't foresee needing to use Thompson money this year. So that's been a nice savings to the town and something you're able to absorb back into your budget. I wanted to talk a little bit about youth services. We have certainly increased our youth services after becoming a youth service bureau. I don't know how much you're aware of this, but because we are a youth service bureau and because the school is under the SBDI, the school-based diversion initiative, that slug of money that the school got also came with some companion money because we are the YSB. The school also took some of that money to help us fund an attendance mentor, to get kids back to school. So Autumn Lewis was new to us in September, and she works in the mornings getting kids up. She does a wake up video. They do relaxation, they do organizational things, and then she works with students and families throughout the day to make sure that they have what they need to attend virtually, to try to convince them to moving back into attending physically. And she's seen some good success with that. And will continue to work with the school because that money is going to last through December of this next coming year. She'll continue to work with the school, again, really at no cost to the town, because that was the diversion money and the YSB money that we had to match that. So it's our hope that we can keep her working in the town, and then maybe as the numbers reduce in this town, some of the other towns might also be using those services and as well, because all schools are really struggling with attendance. We have kids who have not really attended school since all this began in every district. Thanksgiving, Christmas, we always look at that a little closely to see what's happening there. We had 134 households for Thanksgiving 2 years ago. The past year, it dropped down to 110. This year, back up to 164 households. So that's the 6-month report that we did. We saw a lot of increases in services in that 6 months report. Same with Christmas, that dropped down and is way up above where it was. So 2 years ago, that was 146 households, dropped down to 121. These are all just Thompson households, and back up this year to 172 households. So you can see that it's done this. We also have, it's interesting, I was talking today, the USDA food boxes that have been coming through have set our pantry off a little bit. We don't take those USDA boxes anymore. We don't need them. We like to do a more personalized distribution to our clients. Our clients are still not coming into the building, but they choose the foods that they want in communicating with us, and we give them the protein they want, the fresh vegetables. They're able to choose all of that. So we haven't used the USDA boxes too much, but those USDA boxes are getting out into the community as a supplement. I don't know when those are going to end. I think it's really important that people know where they can turn back when all this extra help ends. So we do a lot of informational distribution with everything we do to make sure that people know to turn back here when things get tough. We did change, you'll notice in the report that we said we changed some of the values of things. Values haven't changed a lot. We might have changed the value on diapers because diapers have gone up. We changed the value on our food bags because we were valuing those at like, I think $20 a bag or something. And we're just putting so much more in those now that we raised that. But the value of services, the increase really lies mostly in the number usage of those services. Homelessness and rental assistance. I really want to take a few minutes to talk about that. I met with Joe Courtney earlier. This is federal level stuff, but it's going to affect us a lot. So I met with Joe a couple weeks ago. He came here, and yesterday I was invited to meet with Chris Murphy over at the No Free Shelter. So it is really important to know, and what I would want the town of Thompson to know is that when I arrived here, we were struggling with, Ken knows this, we worked together a lot on these folks, a lot of people in the woods around here, a lot, you know, my solution to homelessness was, here's a sleeping bag and a tent. We really didn't have much. And these were people that were coming in the winter months, as well as the summer. So we formed this charrette, and the charrette has met monthly for, I don't know, almost 3 years now. We're working on two different things. We're working on landlord identification. Amy knows I reached out to her and she supplied me with a list of the landlords in Thompson. We have lists of landlords in every town we service and into Wyndham now and into Plainfield now, except for the town of Woodstock. Woodstock does not, either they are not keeping those records or they're not able to provide us with those records, but they know that we when they do, we want them. We're reaching out to landlords. Our original idea was to reach out to landlords to say, hey, are you willing to work with us? Because you know that once someone becomes unstably housed, unhoused, evicted, that they're often really hard to put them back into rental property. Most landlords are pretty gun shy about that. So we started with this landlord initiative that we were going to try to engage the landlords all over the area, get to know them, and have a solid list. The other thing you need to know is, in working with Access, IHSP, the town of Killingly, the town of Brooklyn, the town of Putnam, we opened that no freeze shelter, and that has taken a lot of people off the streets here in Thompson as well. The no freeze, Thompson is always invited to, we gave $2,500 last year toward the no freeze. Thompson and any area towns are always invited to give a little bit of money toward that no freeze. It's something that really is servicing all of these towns. It is being filled to capacity almost every night since it's opened. The capacity is a little lower because of COVID, but we have been able to house everybody that needed housing overnight during this cold weather. That will go through the end of March. As far as reaching out to the landlords through this charrette, we've changed our tune, and what we're talking to the landlords about is how can we support you? Because landlords have been, as you know, very negatively affected by this eviction moratorium. And they're talking about running that to June 20th now. And I bet you they're going to run it beyond that. There's also talk of the fall. The 237 million is coming into Connecticut, and that is supposed to be a 6-month look back or a 6-month look forward to keep people housed who are in arrears. They've now told us that they hope to match that 237 with a second 237 million. However, right now we are over 500 million in arrears and arrearage rental in the state of Connecticut. So you can see that might address what went backwards at this point. As the moratorium keeps going, we have people that have been affected by COVID that aren't paying their rent, but we have people who have not been affected by COVID who have not been paying their rent. And all of these people will be under eviction once that's lifted. And I said yesterday to Chris Murphy, they have got to approach this very carefully. They can't just keep throwing the moratorium at it. We could end up with a large amount of people, families, children through no fault of their own, that do not have housing. And landlords can face losing their buildings. They're not able to make repairs. Landlords are facing arrests because they're shutting off utilities and so forth out of desperation. So what I am saying to all of you is if you have anybody call the town hall talking about struggling, get them right to us. We have places that we can get money to help them get caught up. We can work with the landlord. If the landlord knows that they're working with us, we can work with that landlord to say, okay, they're using the pantry now. They'll be paying you back another $100 a month. We can work at a lot of that, but they've got to get to us right away. Whether it was a COVID affected or if it was, a lot of people are slipping back into addiction, just not budgeting and paying the rent. It's kind of a disaster right now, and it's going to get, when it opens up, that's going to be a floodgate. So we're here to help residents. We have access to some of that little over 500 million, and we're happy to help people with it. But we got to know before the eviction goes through. Any questions?
I haven't seen your budget, or I don't have it up. The money that we've been contributing towards the shelter, is that in your budget, or is that another request?
Thompson has not contributed toward the shelter.
I thought we did before.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Actually, just,
We donated $2,000 to the No
did.
Kill Shelter. Yes.
You did.
Last year, this
Maybe-
current budget.
If it's the one through Access, correct?
That's
Access
correct.
Agency? Yeah,
we
Yeah.
paid
Okay,
it
good.
directly to Access.
right.
So did Peter DiBiase approach you for that, or did you just know? I know I had a conversation with someone about donating, but I never really.
I had met with, it was well over a year ago. I can't think of her name. Is it a Chris? And she had told me all about the shelter, and that became something at last year's budget that I knew that it was a worthy cause and that we should,
Yeah. Great.
you know,
I'm-
give something to such a worthy operation.
Now that I know that that was done, I will include the town of Thompson in any of that, because I think it has really benefited the town not to have these folks sleeping in the woods. Now, that being said, a person can work themselves out of that shelter by threatening others, by stealing, and they can never go back to those shelters. So we still may struggle, and the fact of the matter is we're going to struggle with some of the toughest folks because they have other issues that are keeping them even out of shelter. But we are not seeing as many people sleeping in the woods, which is a really good thing. And if Access asks for that money again this year, I would really encourage the town to consider it.
You know, and honestly, they didn't ask for it this year in their letter to us. But Orla, we did send them the 2,000. It was in the budget. I think I remember signing that.
Yes, we did send it to them. Their request was 1,000. You guys agreed to 1,000, and then we added the 2,000 to the check.
Right.
We did get funding this year through the CAN. So the CAN is the Coordinated Area Network for Homelessness. And when I started, I couldn't understand how to get money out of the CAN. It really frustrated me. I kept thinking, I'm doing all this work with the CAN. I can't get money. I don't know how it works. I now am sitting on the, this is called the Executive Committee of the Steering Board. So that when this money comes through, and a lot of it comes through United Way, it comes through DOH, it comes from HUD down to DOH. This is mostly DOH money, but we did take some of that money this year and put it toward running the shelter. And Peter found another amount of money that he could put. So maybe they just didn't need it, but I'd love to know that the town of Thompson had a name in there because we are servicing folks who are up in this area and homeless. So it might be a question you'd want to have with Access to see.
Right. I think we just sent that out in January, didn't we, Orla? I think, so maybe there was, in the newest letter, there was a cross
Yeah, I think it
Like,
was quite
crossed
recent.
in the mail, kind of, so.
It's good to know. Even if it isn't for this year, but I assume it is, I'm just going to say Thompson's involved too when I talk about it. So
Okay, cool.
that's great. Thank you for that question, Ken. Anything else?
What did you put in for heating oil for this year?
For this coming budget year,
Orla,
where
did we get a copy of Teague's request?
Suzanne, sorry, I was muted. Yes, you did. It was with the general services. So it was with all the attached backup that I provided with the general services budget. Now I'm just going to share it on the screen.
Could
All right,
I
that's
ask
what-
you or ask somebody to please print out last Tuesday's budgets that we were sent out? I haven't been able to print them out, and today's,
Okay.
and
So-
I'll pick them up later.
on the second page of this request, Orla, it says that we are requesting 6,000 for next year for the fuel fund.
There you go. Can everybody read that?
Oh, do you have it up on the screen? I'm still looking for it.
You gotta go up to the next page, Orla.
This is the next page. Is this what you're referring to?
That's
Ann?
the first page. If you scroll down, you'll get some verbiage.
Yikes.
What it reads is, as the future of the economy remains uncertain, we will keep our request for social services to the town at the same level as last year, 41,965. Yep, so you're right in there. And then 6,000 from the fuel fund. That 5,000 for school readiness comes from a school readiness grant that we get through the Early Childhood Council. And we do we work with the school to provide school readiness money, we do the financials for that. Chelsea
Okay.
does that for us.
Sure, yeah.
My concern going into this year is fossil fuels have spiked.
Okay,
Heating oil has spiked. I mean, it's up over $60 a barrel, where it was as low as it was in the 20s, around 30. But anybody going, it's skyrocketing. And with the economy still the way it is, the pandemic that is going on, and uncertainty with the job market. While we may have skated by this year, we were lucky. I just want to make sure that we have enough there, figuring, going into the next.
Are you talking about the 6,000, Ken?
Yeah.
so in the past,
The Board of Finance has always said that they could always come back and ask for more.
and you've approved us up to 7,000 in the past. I think it's a point well taken, Ken. We don't know that we're going to get this huge slug of money that we got from Operation Fuel. That all came through Operation Fuel, which is why we didn't use it this year. We haven't asked, I don't think, more than 7 before. But I think it's good to be aware that we might come back. Maybe you want to put 7 in there and then have us come back if we need more. We don't use it till we use it.
Yeah.
And what have you used this year?
Of
Nothing.
Thompson money, nothing.
Is there a way to roll that over, to put it in a, so it doesn't go back into the general fund?
Amy, you know what you did with that money. I'm not sure that I was real clear on where that went.
Well, that would have been up to Orla's accounting.
Yeah, we can do that.
You know what I'm saying, Orla?
And that's fine.
absolutely.
So then we would not have to add to that line, but we would still have that in an account.
Sure,
I
I'll
was-
roll over the 6K at the end of the year to next year.
Because I don't think we used any last year.
Let's have a look and see.
I don't think we paid it out last year, and then it doesn't look like we'll pay it out this year.
No, we paid it out last year.
I thought they did.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
1920, 4,679, is that?
Almost,
No, I
yeah.
have it at $6,000.
We had 6 in the account,
Yeah.
or in the
But
budget.
we didn't use all of it. This year, we've used nothing, and we still have money in the Operation Fuel account.
Okay.
No, if we can roll over some, that would be good, because heating oil prices are spiking. And if people are not working, you're going to see an increase in.
Yep.
But if we start a new tradition of rolling it over, and then that's going to give them kind of almost a savings account from year to year, which might be nice.
Or even if we do just half, but at least roll something over.
Something over, yeah. That might be a good idea too, is do half of it, because that's a large chunk. Not reduce the line.
Right. Just keep the 6,000 in, but roll over 3
Something like that.
in
3 or
case,
4.
in case it's a really, really bad year.
Yeah, and fuel prices, they're spiking. You're going to see gas in the
It's gonna
mid
go up and up.
threes. Heating oil is running around 280. It's taken a major spike already.
Yep. You're right,
And
Ken.
it's only going to continue.
Mhm.
And a lot of our households and our people, while they managed to get through with a lot of the assistance through, the food banks and different things that have been going on. I mean, Hartford is a prime example in the pandemic. Rensselaer Field, they're out there one day a week, and it's nonstop.
Mhm.
It's going to continue to spiral down before it gets better.
We haven't seen what we're going to see yet.
No.
There's been plenty of help there. And I want to be clear too in saying that Teague has had a very good year. People have been very, very generous. I am shocked when I open the mail every day at people. We have new donors who have come forth. Lots of donors from, you need to know that Woodstock and Pomfret are very generous donors as well. And all that's going in, much of it is money that just goes into our general fund. We will defer anything we do not spend this year. We're not spending crazy. We're just going to defer it into next year because because I don't know what lies ahead. I don't know what the economy is going to do. So we're just squirreling everything we can away that we're not using. We're still behaving very, very frugally because although it feels very good to be getting these donations now, I'm still looking to write grants to support all this because I don't know where all this is going. So anything that I can squirrel away for next year, I'm doing. I'm using grants that need to be used right away. And we'll just keep doing it. But I do have, I'm worried about what's coming down the pike. I do want you to know we have 5 families in North Grosvenordale enrolled in our Hand in Hand program right now. And that's the program that works with supplying mentoring to these families. We have 2 little guys who have entered school after being in this program for several years. And one was diagnosed with very early on with a autism spectrum disorder and was able to enter school very successfully this fall at the preschool level. The other little guy is in a preschool in Killingly through another program just because of where his mom works. But these are kids that I think would have arrived very unprepared for school, and yet they've done very well. So to me, that's a real positive. And that again comes through a funder that just came to us at no cost to Thompson. So I'm delighted that program has done so well. We have 10 families enrolled with an 11th that we think is coming, and we are really hoping to get to cap at 15 families by the end of this year.
Do you still have the therapeutic mentoring?
We absolutely do.
I'm looking for the list of services and I don't see it in the packet that I received. So,
Yep. So mentoring is in the first where it's listed to what we offer to Thompson residents. It would be listed under just mentoring. We do mentoring on a lot of different levels. So we do therapeutic mentoring when it's called for, but we have other levels of mentoring now. So through our JRB, we may get a therapeutic mentor, but it may be at what we call an SS mentor, which is someone at a little bit less of a level. They still have full clinical supervision. They still do goal setting, and they still work to connect kids to the community. But the SS mentoring is just a little bit lower level than the therapeutic. DCF, who usually pays for mentoring, has just pretty much shut down this year. We've been really concerned. I don't want to say they're shut down, but they don't go out. They don't go out at all.
Nope.
And as a matter of fact, in many cases, they've sent my folks out in place of their folks, which just makes me really worried about kids. They're not doing a lot of the things that we used to call in for with concerns to the care line, to the DCF care line. Many times they'll turn that around and say, yeah, we're not concerned about that right now. So the sort of the level of what sets off a DCF case has changed a little during COVID. We're still in touch with them. We still work with them, but they asked us to stop all of our mentoring in March when they shut down. We had done some Zoom mentoring for a while, and then they said, no, you can't do that. But the way that we've gotten around it is anybody who was on our mentoring list, we take meals to them. We stop by with activities. We just keep checking on them. And again, we charge that to our own programs because we can't charge it to DCF right now. So there are other income sources for that mentoring. And DCF will be back with them when they're allowing face-to-face mentoring, but we're paying for it through grants that we've written, through other pools of money that we've been able to raise. So it's a great question. We are actively mentoring, but we're not doing it through DCF. And DCF, so when we do a TSS or an SS mentor, DCF determines what level so some are therapeutic and some are not therapeutic. Some of our mentors are therapeutic right now, and some are just SS.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions for Ann? All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Ann.
Ann.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I love working with this town. It's really, I'm glad that I found this town later in my career, and got to meet all of you. Thank you.
Well, we love working with you, Ann.
And
Thank-
I have just a quick question in
Yes.
relation to on the document, there was the request for school readiness. So the town receives the school readiness money. I give it to the school and the school submits it to you. So I'll take it off the list of request information items because I know it's going to you anyway. Okay.
So in the future, Orla, I think I won't put that in there. It's
Yeah,
just, it's something I've carried over from when Donna was here, but I
Yeah,
also
Okay.
think it
I was
seems a
gonna ask about that when we were talking about the budget.
Yeah. because we're not really asking the town for it.
No.
It's a grant, and we actually work with the school on that grant. So
Right.
That's true.
I will mark that we will take it out in future requests.
That's so fine. Well, it's certainly helpful to narrate it that you're working on that program with the school. But I guess from my side of things, on the money side of things, I list the individual things that you request, and I'll make sure that's not part of the list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ann.
Take care.
DVCCA is here.
Hi, Mr. Thoreau.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you getting snow?
Not yet. Are you?
No.
Okay.
They said it'd be noon to 1 in the early afternoon.
No, it's
Boy.
supposed to start at 6 this morning, so.
Well, we got that. We did get a dusting
Oh. no, we
that
didn't get
kind
anything.
of like came by, but it's
But
weird. They're saying 3 to 6 inches over the next 48 hours. So it's not so bad. I can take that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Easy to keep, easy to clean up.
You bet.
Northeast corner will be the last to get of the storm coming up. So,
Yeah, usually you get the most.
no, I mean, the time frame for us will be the
Right.
last to start getting it.
Yeah. but
I
you're right,
used to live in
get the most.
Stafford, so I was part of that snow
Oh.
belt that
Mm-hmm.
you got the Northwest and you got the Northeast. And I'm in Preston now, so it's like I'm in the subtropics. compared to the Northeast. So welcome. I'm glad that we have had time to talk this morning about my program. And, you know, we talk about this every year. This is your second year for Selectmen?
Yes, I'm in my second year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, you know, as we know, our meal program, we deliver meals to our homebound seniors that are in your town. And then again, it's more than a meal because we do provide that wellness check. Due to COVID, we've changed that protocol slightly. We do still see our clients, but it's, you know, it's from the door. And this is all protocol that's been driven down by the CDC, but we've been fortunate as a program that we've been pressing on through this pandemic. And we had not had to stop services, with the exception of there were 2 weeks that we did have to shut down as a program. It was the end of September because we had several cases at the same time of individuals that did test positive. But during that period of time, we had already delivered emergency meals out to our clients. We provided phone calls to all of our clients because we do Meals on Wheels for the whole eastern part of Connecticut. So we've got about 1,000 or pretty much about 1,000 clients at this time. So phone calls went out to all the clients to reassure them that we are opening back up as a program to utilize their emergency meals. They were actually more concerned about us, and they couldn't wait for us to come back online. And I think a lot of that too is that personal contact that they have from their driver delivering those meals. You know, and we, you know, we basically what we're doing is we're hoping to keep our seniors in their homes as long as possible. You know, we're working to reduce the malnutrition that an individual might be faced with, the social isolation, and especially with COVID and the seniors, you know, having to stay home. and families not being able to go out and visit and whatnot, the social isolation is even more than it was in the past for them. It's okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
It was my son calling from overseas.
Oh, wow, and you hung up?
Oh, I'll call him back.
He's in the military?
Yes. Yeah, he's in Germany right now.
No, thank him for his service for me.
I will.
I was in for 23 years myself, so I know what it's like.
What branch?
I started out in the Army and went to the Air National Guard.
Oh, okay, great.
Mhm.
He's Air Force. So.
He is, there you go, good branch.
Yeah.
So we are currently delivering 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I know that we're trying to get that up to 5 days, but at this point, financially, we're just not able to do that. But we do provide that hot meal for 3 days a week. So that in itself is a good thing. We have currently about 23 clients. Last year, we did about 3,350 meals for these clients. The route is it's one route that we have. So we have one driver that's dedicated to that on those 3 days, so that the clients see the same person all the time. And he's very dedicated. He's there all the time. I know that as far as what we're asking, it hasn't changed from previous years. And not to say that it will not, our ask won't increase in the future, but I know that with the minimum wage, that's definitely something that will impact us as it does most any other program that's there. Most of my drivers are paid that minimum wage. And unfortunately, that's a cost that everybody has to absorb. So I did want to put that out there. That the cost, the overall cost last year for those meals for the 23 clients was almost $27,000. That's what it cost TVCCA, and that's our unit rate. And that unit rate is the cost of the labor, the cost of the food, the cost of the transportation, vehicle maintenance, overhead, all of that is included. I did a breakdown for the cost of the driver, and it's about $13,000 a year annual cost for the driver, our cost. So that if that helps to justify that ask a little bit more. Other than that, I mean.
So in the past, Eugene, there was 5 day a week delivery of the hot meals?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've been here for about 3 years myself. I honestly, I can't ask that question. I can get the answer.
Right. But right now it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, correct.
And now we used to do a senior program. Obviously, we're not gathering in crowds, but there used to be the program at the library, correct?
Yes, there
For
was.
meals? Okay.
Yep. And also, I know that Putnam isn't in your town, but Putnam is putting in a new community center as well. So I was
Right.
looking at the future, that might be a benefit for some of the seniors that can certainly get out and drive. They could take advantage of that.
Right. Is the 23 clients, is that about average what we've been over the last even 3 years? Or was there an increase with COVID?
There
or-
was, yeah, because about, I want to say maybe about 10 clients or so, and we've seen an increase. And a lot of a majority of the individuals, I want to say, were from senior centers that have closed.
Okay.
As soon as the senior centers closed, and in your case as well, we reached out to the senior center directors to reach out to those individuals that were part of the program to identify right off the bat who are the individuals that are going to be affected by the closure. So ones that relied on transportation to get to and from the program. And those we immediately put on a Meals on Wheels program. Basically what we did was we took them. So we have some senior centers that are doing the cafe program 5 days a week. We have others that are doing it 3, some are 2. So what we did was we just mirrored what the senior center was doing for meals. And we put those meals as a frozen drop for the clients. So what that means is if they were serving 5 days a week, we put together 5 frozen meals based off of our Meals on Wheels menu. They get a half a loaf of bread, they get a quart of milk, they get 4 frozen fruit and a fresh fruit. And that's delivered to the senior center. And then the senior center actually delivers those meals, those frozen drops to our clients.
Okay.
I know that there's some variations in the towns, but that's basically how it's working out. And then any new client that we took on to the Meals on Wheels program, they're put on this 5-meal frozen drop. So basically we're going to see them once a week, but we're able to provide them food. We have that limited social contact, but at least we can provide them, something that so they don't have to go hungry for that period of time.
How are we doing it with our community center?
We're not actually doing anything with your community center. So anybody that we service is on the route that so anybody
Okay.
new that comes in, they're
They went to
put
the
on
route.
that route.
Okay.
But they're put on the 5-meal frozen drop.
No,
So
I
they
was
don't-
just listening to where you said that you dropped them at the center and they picked them up at the center.
Correct. That would
Ours
be,
went on the route, which is great.
yep, exactly.
Okay, great.
So unfortunately, I had to decide whether we were going to do basically like a will call. So people would be on hold. So if somebody calls in and they want to be on the program, we would actually have to wait for somebody to come off the program to put somebody else on. I did not want to do that. That does not, unfortunately, it's a negative for the program to have to be in a position like that, because unfortunately it's like, well, I called and I couldn't get a service. So what we've done is we've eliminated our supper meals and we've eliminated our weekends, and we just went with a 5-day frozen drop. Because our funder, the way we're funded, basically they fund that lunch, that 1 meal a day for us. So as long as I can keep that, and then as things work out in the future and we get more money, we can certainly entertain putting people on on weekends and on suppers. But this is my attempt to not put anybody in a position where we cannot provide them a service.
Any other questions?
No, it'll be nice when the cafe can get reopened and people get back to their normal lives,
I think
Yes.
people are really looking for it. I mean, again, it's tough.
especially
because-
ours.
Yeah. Do you find that people just are sick of being at home and they really don't care and they just want the program to be open? Or do you find some apprehension about people scared about coming out and participating again?
I think the more people are vaccinated,
I agree.
there's a settling about regathering again. And I think people are really ready for it.
Oh, they're tired. But we've always had a good turnout, for the cafe.
Mhm.
I mean, the people love going down. They're socializing. They have a great-
Socializing, yep.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Does Thompson have a bus that you pick up and bring to the community center?
Not at this time, no.
No.
We only have the Northeast Transit District,
Okay.
the whole part of the Northeast corner through
Right.
NECOG.
Okay. All right.
Any other thoughts, questions?
Go.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Keep
Have a
doing the
good day.
great job.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You too.
Okay, guys, I'm just stepping out for a quick second. Thank you. Sorry about that. I think I had DPW next, but I don't have the agenda in front of me.
You're correct.
Okay. You just,
Do you know what time he's coming in?
supposed to be 11. Let me send him a
Okay.
quick message.
I hate not having the printed budgets in front of me, but I just could not get them printed this.
I'll make some copies for you. Which ones do you need?
All of them from yesterday, from Tuesday and today, because I like to have the originals, make my notes all over them, put them into a book. Yeah.
Yep. No, you'll need that before next week for sure. I'll get copies and I'll,
Yeah, and
Have
when
it
I sign the invoices this afternoon, if they're available, I'll grab them then.
Dan, I just scanned the general services information for you. And it should be on its way to you now via email. So
Thank you.
if you can just email me exactly what else you need. And did you say you need everything from Tuesdays? Is that what you
Printed.
said?
printed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tuesday would have been what date?
Oh,
16th, right?
16th.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll print that for you today. When are you coming in to sign the bills?
Sometime this afternoon.
So she'll be in sometime this afternoon, Paula. I'm just letting Paula know beside
Yeah,
me.
tell her it'll be before 3 o'clock.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll in that case come up here because what? Oh, they're already downstairs in your box. You dropped.
Okay, excellent, excellent. I'll probably try to leave my house. Hopefully we'll be done by 2, before 2. I'm
Yeah.
assuming we will. And I'll probably leave when we're done, so I can
Okay.
run over there and get back here before it
Grand.
snows, right?
Okay. So I'm just going to release this to print now, but just bear with me 1 second. Otherwise, we'll get sidetracked and I won't be able to get this information to you.
Okay,
Okay. You need everything from 16th
printed.
printed. Okay. Let me just release it to the copier. So it'll print in the background. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Okay, great. So it's printing at the moment.
And then
Okay.
today's stuff printed.
Oh, you want today's too? Okay.
Yes, yeah. I don't have a home printer. I use,
No, that's fine. No problem. If anybody else needs anything printed at any stage, just it's not a biggie, not at all.
all right, thank you.
Okay, so let me just print today's also.
Is Rich doing the town garage, public works, parks, and transfer station?
Yep.
That's all him, right?
Mhm.
And then cemeteries, is that him too? Snow removal and DP? Oh, I guess the whole thing is him.
Yeah, he's got 6
Got it.
departments.
Wow, he's a busy guy.
Okay. Hey, Paula, I'm printing some stuff for Susan. Yeah, if you can, it's going to take a couple of minutes, but if you can grab it when it's done, and then I can put it together here in front of me, okay? Okay, so. Hi, Rich.
Hello.
Okay,
Bringing
can you
those
bring up
budgets
your
up on
departments? Yeah.
screen. Okay.
Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Okay, go ahead. Have I shared yet? Oh gosh, no, sorry. Okay. Does everybody see town garage?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that. I'm working with Charter on an emergency repair on West Thompson Road. Should be good now.
Okay.
Are
Take
we
it
waiting
away.
Are we waiting for Suzanne or is she with us?
Oh, did she?
No, I just had to let the dog in.
Oh, okay.
We're good to start whenever you are, Rich. Can you see it on your screen?
Yep.
Okay. Looks like town garage, you're basically staying flat. You
Uh,
are staying flat.
As far as I know, there shouldn't be any increases in this budget.
Okay. What do you have planned for repairs on the building? Just out of curiosity, do you have anything, or is that just going to be general, whatever crops up?
Actually, we've been doing quite a bit. I'm
Mhm.
currently sitting in my new office. This
Yeah.
is day one. So we're using some money to continue to fix the facilities here. This office is almost complete. Hopefully I can finish the transition either today or tomorrow. And then we're going to start doing the other office. And once that's completed, we're going to work on the hallway, and then we're going into the bathrooms and just kind of update everything, clean up, paint some new fixtures and whatever needs to be replaced. And we're having some significant issues with our heating system still, so we're looking at some of that stuff and some roof repairs. So we have basically some consistent repairs that we're just going to keep plugging away on.
Do we want to move on to the next
Sounds good.
section? Public Works. Anything you want to share with us about? Rich, are you waiting for us to just ask you questions?
And basically, I think if you guys ask questions on what's there, it would probably be more helpful.
Question as far as with the new contract, and did you and Orla, were you and Orla able to calculate in a certain amount anticipating the equipment operator pay and how that's going to potentially impact the budget?
No,
So
we
I
hadn't.
didn't make any of those necessary changes because I believe still things are not finalized as yet.
But
Right.
have you discussed it to be prepared financially so that we know where things would stand?
Nope.
Okay.
I just got one question. The operator that's going to be included in that is not much of a definition of what an operator is.
Did you get a copy of the job description?
No, just the contract.
There's a job description that I wrote that goes with that basically states that the operator will be operator pay. So how I figured it was if it went through in the contract, we were going to budget for that dollar amount for 2 employees for the fiscal year, and then that would be that pay would be determined. Who got the pay would be determined by what was going on any given day. So if we had like two or three machines going out in a day, the people that were operating those machines would receive that extra $1.50 an hour for those days. And on the days that there was no equipment going out, there would be nobody getting paid for it. So it kind of would balance out.
No, I was just looking at what the explanation of it. So if it's in the job description, That may answer the questions.
Yeah, I can actually, I think I have that saved on my computer. I can send you that over.
Yeah, that'd be great, because in the contract, it doesn't show anything, what to refer to. So
Right.
it's open to interpretation, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for clarifying the way you had figured the pay, Rich. I had completely forgotten that that's what your thought process was, and that made complete sense. How about the contractor for the MS4? Do you want to, I don't know that Suzanne is aware of MS4 and the changes. Currently, that's something that Marla has been partially overseeing, our wetlands agent. But is the increase on that line item due to the fact that we might be turning it over to J&D completely?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that go into the MS4 contractor as far as the sampling from the outfalls and different things. But with Marla looking to retire next year, she's looking to hand over the reins for the annual report for MS4. So my feeling on that is that neither Kelly or I or anybody else, at my facility or at the town hall are really kind of qualified to put that information together. And J&D handles that reporting for a few of the local towns that also have to do the same thing. So because of their involvement already in our MS4 process, I felt as though it would be make a lot more sense for the town to just add the extra into their contract to just handle the reporting. That way we know that it gets done on time every year.
I mean, the general increases, overtime, double time, it's an increase of 4,000. Just looking for explanations for when we do meet with the Board of Finance.
So I'm looking, I got my most current budget information. This was up through January 12th of this year.
Yeah.
So in overtime costs, 5033, right?
Yep.
Cost 5033. Oh yeah, 51033. So we are in current budget, we've spent 129% of our predicted overtime costs.
So the estimate for FY21 is inaccurate because it's saying.
So Rich did not complete those columns for estimates, so
Okay.
I literally took in the same numbers as prior year.
Okay.
Rich, just for clarification, the overtime, double time, I mean, you're running a few departments, so you've got the transfer station, you've got snow plowing,
Right.
and you have the normal road work when, a storm or whatever.
Right.
The overtime, double time in this part of the budget references what type of activities?
That is specifically going to be for the highway department. So it's after hours call outs for either tree in the road, storm stuff throughout the year, not snow related, wind storms, tree damage, road closures, car accidents, anything that comes in throughout the year, plus also our road work as well, as far as working overtime to complete the projects that we're doing and such. With the uptick in projects that we've been taking on, there's been a significant increase in the amount of overtime that was necessary to complete them.
No, that's fine, because like I said, we've got overtime in 3 different areas.
Right.
And people are going to be looking just for, well, explain it. How does that all relate?
Right. I code everything accordingly. Even this time of year, if I keep track of, if there was, snowstorm tonight, which there's supposed to be, and then say, Saturday a tree falls down that wasn't related to the snowstorm, well, then I code it as highway department overtime versus snow overtime.
Just looking up separately here to see where we are year to date for the overtime today.
The other question that I've got is the water monitoring.
Me too.
What's changed in that, Rich? anything, the contractor, we're averaging 6 grand anyway, based on 18, 19, 19, 20.
1920 was 8,000.
Yeah, but
7,957.
yes, six
So anywhere from
before,
6 to 8.
yeah, you're averaging 6, which isn't a problem. But has there been a change? I mean, we've got the wells up at the transfer station, the ones
Yep.
behind the highway garage.
No, that's all separate. So the water monitoring, this one is for the public works. And I'm not sure what the deal was on that. I did speak to Kelly about it, and it was when I was doing my, going through to do my proposal, I called Kelly and I asked her about certain line items just to make sure that we weren't going over budget. And she had with the up-to-date billing for the water monitoring at the highway garage, she said that we were going to expend what was budgeted. And so I asked her how much we thought that we were going to go over, and that was the number that we came to, was the additional $2,000, I believe. Is that where it is? Yes, $2,000.
I believe it's what, quarterly they do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's the cost of, the collections and the processing must have gone up. It's not something that I've really been overly active involved with. They just kind of show up and do the test and then they leave.
Yeah, we're under requirement to have it done.
Yeah, I mean, it is something we can look into as to why the increase in cost, but I just, the only reason why I did it was kind of a last minute thing. I said that it looks like we're expending all of our funding for this line item. Is this enough that's in the budget? And that was, Kelly said, no, you should probably increase it to this to cover the cost.
Yeah, I mean, we're averaging more than, at least 6,500 a year at minimum. Just those 2 years. Okay.
Is that the same case for the medical/physicals, Rich? I mean, I noticed in 1920 it was 6,992. Previous year to that was 4,000.
One of the things that's been showing an increase in that is actually it's physicals, but also we've increased our due to the OSHA program that we got involved in. We had to increase some of our on-hand supplies as far as health and safety goes.
Yeah.
So we have additional medical kits now. We actually have a program in place now where every vehicle has a kit in it. Because that's what we're required. So that's some additional expense that had to be included in that cost for keeping those items up to date. Plus the cost of our eye wash stations, maintenance, and the cabinet here, medical cabinet here. And then one of the other things that's increasing that is the physicals. The cost hasn't really gone up, but one of the things that has pushed the cost up is the amount of physicals that needed on a yearly basis to, get the guys through. I know one of our employees that recently retired was going 3 to 4 times per year. And so that was definitely an additional cost. But we have a couple of gentlemen here that are going once or twice a year, and most of the garages every 2 years, but due to health concerns, some of them are required to go multiple times per year.
Well, we've increased the staff as well.
That as well.
Rich, can I ask you a question about that overtime? So I
Yes.
just checked to see currently we're at 10,500. The estimate is in as 8 based on the budget. What do you think you're going to spend on overtime for the year? Because I want to update this number.
So we are. Yeah, so you said we're at over 10,000.
Yeah.
And I had proposed 12,000.
Okay. 12 for the current year, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Anything else on the estimates that you think I should take another look at? The estimate column is the one that's highlighted right now.
Are you gonna spend all of the 10,000 on highway signs again?
Where are we? Highway signs. Yes, that's another project we've been working on, was updating all of the street name signs around town. So last year we ordered the signs to do 2 plow routes. We've been able to put up about 3/4 of those signs so far. And once the frost leaves the ground this spring, we're hoping to get the rest of those up. And then I want to order a new batch to do at least 1 or 2 more plow routes so we can filter through over the course of 3 or 4 years. We can replace them all. That way it's not a one-shot hit, because that would be a extremely expensive amount of signs. Plus we wouldn't really have the time to do the whole town all at once.
From all up. Can I ask, on motor oil, do you expect to spend $3,000? That line, it looks like you've spent about 500 so far.
The reason why for that was because I had encumbered some funds for one of our contractors that we get those supplies from. And we were working on expending those funds first before going into current year. So now that those funds are gone, we'll be basically relying on that $3,000 a year for oils and stuff. So that number is correct.
2 of the numbers I just changed for you, Rich, were diesel and gasoline based on our contract. So our contract for diesel is less than it was prior year, so should come in at 90, and I'm increasing gasoline because our quantities of gasoline have increased over the years. Last year's budget was 25, and as you see, our actual number was 32 and then 38. So 30 based on our current contract in place for next fiscal year. Estimate for next fiscal year looks like it's 30 for gasoline and 90 for diesel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that will be actually a decrease from my
Yes.
proposal.
Correct.
Let's see, I'm just going through to make, because this is 1,600, 0, 3,500, 12,000, 15,000, 23. 23, 85. Advertising. Under 4,000. Holder, almost, line marking, 7,500. So that's that. Physical spending, that's 12,000. That's different. 3,000, 1,000. Okay. That was that. And then, so back at the top,
Sure.
at the proposal for secretary clerk was going to be an increase.
Increase in hours, not increase in salary.
Correct, but
Yeah.
that would also,
So that should maybe say it in the narrative.
Right.
So I added it
'Cause
here. It
It
says,
says it on that page, but when you
Oh,
look at
okay.
the other,
Just
when you
says
look on the
add
other
13.
spreadsheet, it looks like you're giving her $15,000 more for 11 hours.
Exactly. I was gonna suggest we change that in the budget part of it, just so it's clear. So when the
Right.
Board of Finance is looking at it,
So somehow having it highlighted so the Board of Finance will know that.
putting it in the narrative,
hours
I
are
think.
increasing. Oh, in the narrative
it's in the
underneath?
narrative.
Is it?
Yep, I'm highlighting the line here. Add 13 hours per
No,
week.
I'm saying, under, I see what you're saying.
You're saying underneath that all
Yeah,
of
you
that.
don't have the descriptions written out sometimes. Okay. Well.
So Rich, I know that you've been facing a lot of truck repairs, et cetera. On that page 51. So the next page down, the third page, it says truck repairs, parts, 52,000. You're still thinking that's adequate?
Yes,
Okay.
that should be 42,000.
42 for equipment repair,
Oh, yes, and then 50.
truck repair,
truck.
52.
Yep.
Okay. What is a drainage construction / material?
Catch basins,
basins.
catch basin, block pipe,
Okay.
concrete, stuff like that.
All right.
Rich, on the truck repairs, to take roughly a 13,000, reduction, what has changed that we won't be doing as many repairs?
I moved the roll-off repairs over to the transfer station account.
Oh, okay.
Ah, okay.
All right. That would make sense.
Yeah, there was no actual reduction. I just moved the.
You just shifted the line item.
Yeah.
Okay. That would make sense.
Any other questions on this department for Rich?
Not at this time.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Okay.
Just bear with me 1 second. I want to make this quick change before I move on. Okay. Okay, next one, parks. No changes, I see, right?
Yeah, we can see. No changes. Any questions? From the selectmen?
We're looking at cemeteries are straightforward.
Okay, next one is cemeteries.
No, I don't have cemeteries.
No, cemeteries is 5. Actually, it's 2 over. Transfer station is the next one, so let's do transfer station.
There we go.
You want me to scroll down to the next page?
Oh, wait a minute. How many transfer station operators? Is that 40 hours for both jobs?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think we should change those
Titles?
in the budget book and in the budget process. We should change that title,
Okay.
that job title from operator, because it was I specifically put in that the those employees would not be operator per se for the operator stipend. So
Just eliminate operator.
yeah, I would just take operator out. That way it doesn't turn into an issue later on if the
Are they more like attendants?
that would work, a transfer station employee or transfer station attendant. Just so the union doesn't come back afterwards and say, well, you have this position listed as an operator.
Yeah.
How come they're not receiving that funding?
Yep. All right. Rich, on the hazardous waste line,
Yeah.
we don't have anything expending this year. What is it? Oh, is that every few years?
We do that every 2 years. So
2 years,
what
okay.
happened was we
Oh, the
ended up-
hazardous waste, the collection day,
yeah,
correct?
We-
Okay.
we were putting 10 to 12,000 a year into that
Yep.
fund
Right.
and then encumbering it. And then there was a mix up in, I think it was it last year's budget or the year before where we accidentally dropped a little bit more than what was supposed to go in.
Yeah.
So we ended up with a little bit of
Yeah.
a surplus. So that's why we took it out, and it's supposed to go back in
Okay.
this
Yeah,
budget.
okay, take
Yep.
care.
Got it. I remember that now.
I do too.
When we're due when, Rich?
We did
Paula?
it this
Close up.
past year. No, did we do it? No, we didn't. Did we do it this year? No, we did, that was,
No, we did
no,
it
because of
in,
COVID. Technically, I think we're supposed to do it this coming year.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I would think.
so I have it that we did it 1920, but if we did it in July 19, that makes sense.
Yes, it was late,
Okay.
that's why.
Yeah, so that's why
Oh.
it's showing up at 1920, and
Yeah.
the dollars are up here is 4078 and 15922. So, but yes, we have it scheduled for July of 21, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I put a note in here a couple of years ago, biannual, add in for
Is-
fiscal 21,
Is
22.
10 gonna make it?
Yeah, we actually, I was kind of surprised the last time we did it, the numbers weren't really, they weren't as large as they were in the prior 2 years, because I think it had been a while. Like last time, the first time we did it when I was here, it had been a few years since it was done, and I think a lot more people came out for that, or they had a lot more stuff saved up. So this past time around, we did okay, I think, as far as the numbers. When I want to say it was like $16,000, $17,000 it cost.
Well, we had partnered with Putnam.
Yes,
They came down, they covered their costs, we covered ours.
correct.
And then we did it
By ourselves, right?
year and a half ago, whatever it was.
Mhm.
And we're due again
I'll be
Mhm.
back in a second.
every other year.
I can't believe we're doing that again already, because I feel like it just
Yeah, it goes quickly. But, you know, a lot of the paint now goes up to the transfer station, which works out pretty well.
right, exactly.
Right.
The only, how are we doing with the, you know, the tipping fees?
We are still trying to figure that one out.
Because I know we're losing on the tires. We've paid more than we've taken in.
Right.
Is that because of roadside pickup? I don't know how much you're getting on the roadsides.
And that's actually bringing us a lot of tires. I did make some changes. I don't know where the heck I put those papers, but we made some changes to the containers and put the tires in a covered container to try to keep the water out of them to
Oh,
save.
wait, yeah.
But last April, during roadside cleanup, I want to say there was a couple hundred tires that got picked up.
Yeah.
So that definitely didn't help us.
What are you seeing alongside the roadside for, you know, stuff that's being discarded right now?
It's been quiet because it's been a winter.
Yeah.
And we were pretty regularly picking stuff up in the summer and fall. The typical locations, Cordis Road and Ballard Road, a few other places around town that
Baker Road.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's been consistent. I haven't really seen an increase. It's just one of those things. I did.
No, I was just wondering for the tires alone, what was driving that to go up?
I did a little research on some of like the roadside stuff, and I looked at like what the surrounding towns were charging. So like Dudley being right over the line, their transfer station permits over $300 a year. And then everything that they accept is an upcharge. So you're allowed to bring in X amount of bags per week up to a certain size, and then after that you pay per bag if you're outside of your limit. Massachusetts does not have a mattress recycling program, so the program that we're in, where we get a container supplied to us from Willimantic Waste, and they just come and pick it up, and we don't get charged for it due to fees that are charged at the time of purchase. Massachusetts doesn't have that program, so I feel like that's one of the reasons why we're seeing mattresses getting dumped on the side of the road, because in Mass you have to pay to get rid of them.
Do they have electronics recycling in the other states program? Because I know we have it.
What was that?
The electronics, computers, that type of stuff.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I do know that there was There's something that was sent to us a month or two back about some proposed bills in Massachusetts in regards to like the mattress recycling program, and how if, you know, it would be hurting out-of-state people, you know, especially border towns, you know, for people dumping, illegal dumping and stuff like that. So they're aware of the issue. So we're hoping that they do something about it, but there's no guarantee.
And repairs to the building and grounds. Do we have anything big coming up there?
Yeah, as soon as it gets warm, a little bit warmer, I gotta have a fence repair company come in and do some work to the chain link fence. Somebody else hit it and we have no idea who it was. There was no accident report. It was kind of a hit and run.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be done, and I'm also gonna be looking at starting to upgrade some of the railings around the containers, because a lot of them are broken off from the ground and they're just kind of wobbling around. One of my concerns is, so the voluntary OSHA inspection that we're doing, the gentleman that is handling it, he has come and visited once. We had a list of items that had to be fixed. We made it about halfway through the garage, starting on the east side of the building where it's basically just storage. So a lot of the stuff was training, lack of trainings and lack of documentation on things that we're supposed to monitor on a regular basis. So we're working on handling that in-house. Matt Whipple has kind of come forward and utilizing some of his training through the fire departments as a certified trainer, is putting together a HAS compliance training program for the guys. Last year we updated our SDS book. We had to add some hazardous communication booklets to all the trucks and stuff like that. So he's handling that. Fire extinguisher inspections monthly. We had some physical things that needed to be fixed, repaired, a little bit of electrical stuff, some housekeeping things. So we got that squared away, and that gentleman's coming back in a couple of weeks, and we're going to continue. So one of my concerns, he wants to see everything. So once we finish the inside of the building, he wants to do outside of the building, and he'll do it in steps. So once the number of things that need to get fixed are, you know, to a certain point where they give you a time frame to fix it, he doesn't want to overwhelm. So he just does it in pieces. So once he gets done with the inside of the facility, he wants to do outside. Once he gets done with outside, he wants to do a job site. So he wants to go out onto a road job in the springtime and see how we handle our signage and PPE and safety stuff on the work site. And he also wants to go to the transfer station. I'm worried about the transfer station, but we'll see how that goes. But we're gonna try to make some repairs first before he gets there, to hopefully soften the blow.
No, that's why I'm wondering if you got enough money there.
Haven't had any planning time yet to figure out exactly what's going to happen. I want to do some railing work. That's important. So that's going to be in the spring. We haven't really spent a lot of money yet this year on repairs up there. So I'm going to have some to work with in the spring, plus
Okay.
you know, money going into the new budget. So I don't want to add in funds that I can't account for yet.
Any other questions on this department?
Rich, is there any in relation to the estimates for 2021? Anything look more than it's going to be? Should we increase the tipping fees, knowing what's going on with that situation?
I wish I don't know what I did with that paperwork. So the spreadsheet that,
Did we put money into the, you moved, you had moved the, oh God, the roll-off truck. Is that in this?
It's capital.
No, I'm talking repairs.
oh, repairs, yeah, we had moved that last year. That was,
correct. Yeah, we moved it just
Okay.
down the bottom. There's a note.
Yeah, I think that ended up getting added into equipment repair parts.
Okay, that's where
Yes.
we put it. All right.
Yeah, that was last year.
As long as we got a footnote for that so it can be explained.
Yep, it's in there.
I have no idea what the paper I was looking for is, but I wanted to address the question about the tipping fees. But
Oh. Well, is it the information that Kelly put together? Because some of
Oh.
that is the spreadsheet that I shared with the Board of Finance.
what's
Yeah,
that?
that's where I saw the tires not paying for themselves.
Yeah.
Let me bring up that spreadsheet, Rich, okay?
Okay.
Let me just make sure I have it. Just give me a second. Too many files, too many files. Can't remember whether it's this document or not. Nope, not that. Sorry. No. Tipping fees, tipping fees. Okay, this might be it. Okay. This was a provisional one that was sent. There's more details sent, but anyway. Can you guys,
No, you got to switch it out and put it up.
yeah, I got to put a new share in. Bear with me. There's another document that I shared with the Board of Finance, which is this information, bulky and regular broken down. Can you see what I'm sharing right now, guys?
Yep.
Okay. There's another document that I shared about a month ago, which is all of this bulky and regular broken down by bulky versus MSW. And but in relation to what we're talking about here, this is the expenses side of things. There's a ugh.
There was another sheet that showed
Yeah, I know.
what we
Give me a
get
second to
coming in.
find it. Yeah,
Yeah.
give me a second to find it.
Is that the one that the Board of Finance got?
Yep.
Yeah.
That one?
We know what the costs are. They were wondering what was coming in, going over the scale and the extra,
Yeah, the one I sent when you were gone, they had wanted it before the meeting, last month's Board of Finance meeting, but I think that was when you were on vacation. Okay, I will find it. Bear with me one second.
Orla, I have it if you want me to share.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Go ahead.
Let me just,
It's not where it should be in my folders.
sorry. Had to get back to the screen.
That's okay.
All right, let's see. I think this is it. Okay, is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. So, Rich, you had a comment that you made to the Board of Finance this week about the fact that we seem to be, we have a surplus versus a deficit, and that is correct because this only includes expenses and income related to collection of the material and deposit of the material. It doesn't include anything else with regards to operating the transfer station.
Right, which is why I'm not 100% sold on why there is such a uproar about it, because I know that the gentleman that is asking the questions doesn't utilize the service of the transfer station. But so you have this, according to this worksheet that shows the numbers, it shows that the bulky waste and the MSW is paying for itself. And then you have operational costs. So I think that the answer to the question is going to be how much of the permit costs would you like to cover the operation costs? And how much of that cost is going to be acceptable to the town's taxpayers in order to continue to operate? I've made it my opinion to Amy, and I have discussed, and I believe I had the conversation with you as well, Orla, that I believe that our permit cost is about $50 a year less than what it should be.
Yes.
So looking at the numbers that are on the screen right now, it's telling me that the costs associated with the transfer station are not costs associated with bulky waste. It would be more along the lines of costs associated with operation of the transfer station for maintenance purposes, and all of the, all of
Fixed
the
costs. Yeah.
line items that are in that budget.
Yeah.
Those cost money. So I think that the question is, how, as far as, the Board of Finance is concerned, on how do we kind of rectify some of these numbers? People already have a difficult time coming in the gate and going on the scale. They feel as though they pay their taxes and they pay their permit costs, and why should they pay extra when they come in? Part of that I understand, but at the same time, it's a cost of doing business. The transfer station was designed over 30 years ago. 30 years ago, people didn't throw as much stuff away. The cost of removing debris and trash was not what it is today. The rubbish industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And there's, aside from, being an undertaker, there's no job that has more job security because people just throw stuff away. So, if you're an undertaker, it's a dying business. People die every day. If you're a trash man, it's a crappy job, but it's going to pay the bills because people throw stuff away. Most of the stuff that you walk into the store and purchase, a good portion of that, whether it's packaging or unused items, uneaten food, or whatever, gets thrown away, gets thrown in the trash. So your MSW trash is covered by the cost of your permit. So, we have the option of either putting a restriction on, putting a bag limit on incoming customers, and then saying, okay, well, if you exceed your limit, we're going to charge you X amount of dollars per bag, which is what some towns do. The other option is to, as far as bulky waste is concerned, I think that our bulky system is working out fairly well. We're charging based off of $155 per ton to bring in bulky waste. We are expending, I believe it was 70 some odd dollars, $80 a ton is what we're paying out to get rid of it. So, I mean, that's a decent, cost analysis, 155 to we're charging and we're paying, a little more than half that. So, I mean, I personally think that we're processing a lot of trash. And at this point in time, I think in the coming years, we're going to be looking at, upgrading our transfer station and possibly adding another compacting unit for MSW trash, which is going to come at a significant cost because the transfer station wasn't quite set up for future expansion. It was built for what's there now. So we're going to have to figure that out moving forward. So as of the costs right now, I personally think that increasing the fee to where it should be, which I feel should be $175 a year. We are way lower than any other town in our area that operates a transfer station. And if you take the 2,600 on average permits that we process, and you increase that cost by $50 a piece, that's a significant increase in revenue to help cover the cost of operation. And it's not going to be, if that was something that, the boards decided to do, it's not going to be well loved by the taxpayers and the residents of town because, that's a significant increase. But at the same time, find somebody that will do your roadside for less than $400 and something a year, whether it's a dumpster or weekly trash pickup. It's not out there anymore. There's a few fly-by-nighters around that you can probably get a deal on, but other than that, it's trash. Trash is big money, and trash keeps going up. This past year we've had some issues with recycling thanks to COVID. Some of the things that we got paid for in the past, we no longer get paid for. Some of them came back, some of them still haven't. We're now paying for paper. We never paid for paper before. Paper was recyclable. We got paid a rebate for paper. Now we're paying by the ton to get rid of paper. The cost of getting rid of glass has gone up. It used to be a pay item. Then it was nothing. And then it was $75 a ton. That price just went up last week to $95 a ton. So cardboard has fluctuated over the last year. We have continued to get paid for it. The price last summer, I think, fell to like $18 a ton they were paying, and now we're up into the 40s again, I believe. Plastic, some of it we're being paid for, some of it we're paying to get rid of. So it's been a rough environment in over the last year for recycling. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. The markets, continue to flop around, and that all trickles down to us, and we have to, absorb those costs.
What are we paying for to get rid of paper?
Hold on, I can tell you that. Let's see. Paper, $70 a ton.
It's still cheaper than regular going to Wheelabrator.
Yeah, well, the problem is and this is something else that we've kind of discussed. I'm going to print this so I have it in front of me. So the problem is all of this stuff changes on a regular basis. And the difficult thing is that we can't really change to keep up with it. And the reason for that is because people are creatures of habit. So if I change something at the transfer station, if I move a container, or I say, okay, well, tell people, listen, we're paying $70 a ton to get rid of paper. So why don't you just throw it in your trash bag because it would be cheaper. The problem with that is they would never go back. So, once you change something in a recycling or whatever that they're used to, you're not going to get them to go back to doing it the right way when the system changes. So it's been kind of difficult as far as what do you do. So right now we get paid for colored plastic. We get a rebate of $125 a ton. The natural plastic, which is the clear milk jugs, Right now, I wish we had a surplus because they're paying $655 a ton for
Wow.
milk jugs, which is insane. And then OCC loose. Not sure which one that is. That's $35 rebate. Regular, I think it's number 5 plastic. It's the other plastics. They're charging us $80 a ton to get rid of that. Glass is $95 a ton. Paper is $70 a ton. If we had a rigid plastic container, which we don't, it just gets thrown in with the bulky waste. That would be $90 a ton, but we don't take that in. And tin cans at Casella is a zero, but we bring it to the scrap yard and they're paying us light iron for it. So, that's helpful. But like I said, it fluctuates so much. I mean, it's not like it bounces all around quickly. It kind of goes up slowly, comes back down slowly, and then you get like the surprise that says, hey, milk jugs are over. I think the last time we sent milk jugs in, I believe it was like a month and a half ago, they were paying $5.50 something a ton. And I was like, send that container because the price was up. And now it's even higher. So I wished I held the cards back a little bit because we don't empty it very often. So, but it's just.
What's a full container for tonnage on that, Rich?
I'm not sure on the plastics. Maybe those
No,
are.
I'm talking to milk containers. I mean,
It's not a lot of money. I mean, you're talking probably 5 or 6 ton.
okay.
So if that, so it's not a lot.
No.
They're not very heavy. So, obviously once the container is packed full of them, it produces some weight, but it's not a exorbitant amount. But, we're trying to, make things better. Another thing that I will say is that the employee change at the transfer station is very welcomed. Al has been doing a phenomenal job with his, inspecting loads, charging people accordingly. He doesn't take crap from anybody. They come in, they try to get by. They say the last guy, used to let me in and used to let me do this. And he'll look right at him and say, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. And my boss told me that if you have this, you go on the scale, or I charge you for this. And that is what I'm doing. And he has been amazing. So I'm really hoping, with just that one change, with just a diligent employee being at the gate, I think that will also help us gratefully.
Rich, are you still accepting only cash at the transfer station?
Orla is working on a system to get us away from cash. Most of what comes in is cash and check still.
We have a new credit card processor that we're using. Just went into effect on the 1st of January, and some of the individual departments around the town hall are starting to use them. But they also have an option for a kind of a portable machine that we can have at the transfer station. We will have to get internet there, but that's something that we're working on also on the side.
Have you looked into like the cell phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's that kind of thing. The Point to Pay is the name of the processing company. That's what they can offer us.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen, especially with COVID.
Yeah,
Transfer of money, and everybody's going to credit card now or debit card.
Yeah, I wish, my goal would have every department in the town hall accepting debit and credit. We have a little bit of reluctancy from some of the departments, but most of the departments are in big support of it. So, and obviously from a safety and fraud perspective, the less cash we handle, the better.
Absolutely, and that was kind of my thought in asking that question. The less cash handled, the more traceable it is. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So
it's just changing everybody's what they're used to.
That's the key. That's the key.
Moving people forward.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, I know, Rich, you had said the $55 increase. I did quick calculations based on what we estimate collecting currently. And that still doesn't make us break even. but at least it would potentially, and then it's a matter of addressing. I just happened to be on Facebook this morning and people were talking about having to pay extra for things at the transfer station, and it's I paid for my permit.
That's why it's kind of a fine line, because your costs coming in versus your costs going out, you have to find a happy medium, because people in town, they really like the service. And if you took the service away, they would probably burn the town down.
Seriously,
They really would.
they would.
But the
It's
problem
for
is
the social aspect.
the problem also is that if you increase it too high, then people are going to be combining with their neighbors and collecting everybody's trash. So in doing that major increase at some point, we're going to have some parameters.
Right. Well,
Like you said that, I think you said, was it Dudley that has certain, you can only bring so many bags, et cetera.
but I think overall, the largest concern would be to make sure that, that the 175 number, that's my number, saying that I feel as though that would be fair to the town and to the people. They're not going to like it, but the
It's
biggest
190
thing
in Woodstock.
Yeah. So the biggest thing with that is, like you said, you wouldn't break even, but it would definitely be a lot better. The problem is that you'll never be able to break even with the transfer station, and you probably shouldn't.
Right.
From a even just a political standpoint, because the people want to know that their tax money is going to something, and something like the transfer station that they know and they love. If you are all of a sudden turning, even if we made $1,000 profit on the transfer station, we would be doing something, it would be considered a major injustice to the taxpayers, because they just wouldn't like that.
Right.
So it has to cost something.
Yep.
One quick question. The hours at the transfer station are based on 32 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Because those two guys work for the town on Tuesday and help out the highway garage.
Oh, you mean as far as the budget goes?
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
budget is 40.
Budget, I believe, is 40.
It is.
Well, that's going to add to the cost of the transfer station.
Correct.
That's why I'm saying maybe this is the time to break that down, put them at 32 at the transfer station, and add in the extra 8 hours per guy,
Right.
So,
under the highway side.
So that definitely happens every week, Rich, right?
What's that?
That's a
With
standard.
regards to the Tuesday, they
Oh,
don't
yes.
work at the, okay.
No,
Tuesday
no.
through Wednesday through Saturday.
Very,
No,
very
I'm talking
rarely,
about the one day. I'm talking
very
about that one.
rarely,
Okay.
I'll send one or both of those guys up to the transfer station while it's closed to
Okay.
handle, cleaning up of stuff or reorganizing or preparing for, a large, like a holiday or something like that. We'll do that. But most of the time they're here on Tuesday working for the highway garage.
I totally agree with Ken. So that should be, charged to the highway department and then the 32 hours to the transfer station.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm not sure. Yeah, it makes logical sense. We do it with some of the other departments.
Yeah.
Right. We just talked
So-
about that with one of the one of the executive assistants, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't remember which one it was. Anyway, and we do it with your secretary. So, okay, we'll do that. Okay.
Just so we get the actual costs.
Yeah, that's going to make it, when they look at the deficits and stuff, you get, most of it is in, you're looking at 100 grand just in,
Yeah, it's
man
operational cost for the department, basically.
yeah. And just putting it where it needs to be.
Okay.
Because they've always been 40 hours. It's not an increase to hours, right?
No.
Yeah, the 40 is by contract.
And so it's just going to be moving it from one department to another. It's not going to impact the budget differently, but it will be for accounting reasons appropriate.
For accounting, it'll move 16 hours
Out
over
of
to
the transfer station.
Yep.
Back, where it needs to be. That works.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions on transfer station?
Nope, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Okay, moving on to cemeteries.
Okay.
Pretty
I'm
cut
gonna
and dry.
I'm
That's
gonna reshare the
straightforward.
screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good on that one.
Oh, you don't want to see cemeteries?
Well, no, I
There's
was gonna
no
say
increase.
I can
I know.
share this
There
screen.
was actually a proposed increase on that.
Oh, there was?
There was.
I didn't pick
Hang
up
on.
on that.
Did I miss it? Hang on.
Yes, I had, unless I didn't send it, is that how I sent it over? I don't remember.
Yeah,
was-
this is how I got it.
Okay, so
Um,
maybe I didn't. I was looking at, it was supposed to be, 1,500 as opposed to 500.
Okay, I'll change it now.
And
Do you want to
and
put
the
a narrative in?
reason,
Go ahead.
the reasons for that was, to, to assist with the supplies and stuff that are needed for all of the work that's currently being done. Over the
Rake,
last,
shovel.
well, yeah, but that and, we've actually been doing a bunch of work helping Norma O'Leary out with all of the work that she's been doing and restoring some of the old cemeteries. So I think that, it's a minimal increase expense, the extra $1,000 to help buy supplies and stuff to further assist in, getting those projects done.
All right.
Is it
Yeah,
like
if-
restoring gravestones and that kind of thing?
Yeah, she's got a crew.
Is that conservation?
No, it's actually her group.
Oh,
Is it Thompson?
Yeah, they get grants
Together?
every year.
is it Thompson Together?
Yes, she actually just, okay, so it's true conservation, but it's also true. The grants have been true conservation, but the group of individuals have been organized through Thompson Together, I believe.
Yeah.
But the money that we've received back from the state for the grants has been, you're right, it's been through the Conservation Commission.
If you're gonna, I have no problem putting 1,000 because of the number of cemeteries that we have. Just put a breakdown of what those supplies are.
Right.
Because that will be a question that the Board of Finance will ask.
Yeah, it'll be for, paints, rakes, shovels, any gasoline. We also mow those cemeteries, so there's been there's been a little bit of an increase in supplies on our end for doing that maintenance as well. So
Rich, would you mind taking a couple of seconds just to give me a couple of narratives here? Like you said, forks, right? No.
no, the supplies like paint, wood, shovels, gasoline, stuff like that for the maintenance of those sites.
Okay, I think that's enough. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so we can move on to snow removal.
Okay. This one, if you have any updated numbers for estimates, I'd be happy to put those in, Rich, okay? But I'll just start at the top of the sheet. And on my other screen here, I'm just looking up some updated numbers on where you are with snow removal. We do have payroll next week, so it's not going to include the last few storms, but it'll give us some extra data. Okay, so so just so you guys know, on the snow overtime, as of last payroll, we were at 30,650. On the meals, we're at 950, and the sand and salt, we're at 20,000, but that's only what we've paid. So, and then equipment repairs were at 8,100. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, let me, I thought I printed this one out so I could have it in front of me, but I don't see it, so.
Sure. The one that I have might have a little bit more updated data than what Paula ran for you, because you probably only have through the end of January from her, correct? You should
Uh,
see a report on the screen there.
Yeah.
Do you guys see it? It says, it's the snow removal budget.
Mhm.
I'm trying to fiddle between two different shares. Okay, so that's really what I see so far in the fiscal year. But I, I really wanted to talk to you about where do you see this year's snow overtime?
Are you wanting to talk about what, the overtime budget?
Yeah, the snow overtime. I'm just trying to put an estimate in for fiscal 21 based on not including this weekend's storms.
Yep.
We are at 30,650.
Right.
Do you think we're good still with 50?
I don't really know that I want to change it.
Okay,
We've
fair enough.
kind of been holding at that number. I don't know. Well, we went over that in 18.
Yeah,
Then, we went under 19, 20, and now we're kind of, we're already at, if we're already at over 30,000, we're middle of February, going towards the end of February, and we've been pretty fortunate so far. So we'll, I think at this point, I think I feel safe staying, at that number.
okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to finish sharing this and go back to the spreadsheet, okay? Okay, do you guys see the budget up on the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Am I muted? No.
Rich, salt sand, we've done that well with it so far?
We have,
If you're showing about 20 out
Yeah,
of
but keep in mind,
150.
that's only what's paid, Ken, and we do tend to take 30 days when we can. So if there's any orders that Rich has received during the month of January, maybe from, second week in January onwards, we haven't paid those yet.
Well, no, these, a storm like that we're gonna have today that's gonna last for 2 days is a nuisance storm, and you end up using more material than actually scraping because of how it works out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I was wondering, it just seemed like it was awfully low, because we've had a few nuisance storms that, even the one for the Super Bowl was a nuisance storm.
We
So-
also encumbered 25,000 at the end of fiscal.
That's what I wanted to know is what did we end
20.
up encumbering and spending?
Yeah, we
So-
did well last year. Sorry, Rich, go ahead.
at the moment, what I have purchased and has been delivered, I currently have 200 ton on order.
Yep.
But that's not included in this figure because it hasn't made it to the site yet. So what I have actually purchased that has been delivered to the site is $86,640 worth of material.
Thank you.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So that was 1,200 ton is what we have received so far. And I have 200 on order.
1,200. Okay, so that's gonna,
That'll be
That-
1,400 once this order is filled. And we're paying 72. Might not have been exact.
Yeah, it's a little bit under 73, right?
Yeah, I went off, just off the top of my head, I did the calculation at 72.20, but I don't think that's right. That it's actually 72.12 per ton. So 1,200 times 72.12 is $86,544 worth of material so far.
Sure.
that's coming or that you've used,
That has been, that we have
delivered?
received, yes.
Okay,
Not including the 200 ton that I have on order.
got it.
And with that, it sounds like we'll probably be up to 100K.
That's,
Yeah. And we still got, at least 4 or 5 weeks of potential.
exactly.
All right. Because I know we had reduced it, they had reduced it in the last budget. from the request. Because I think the request was what, 180?
Yeah,
Somewhere
we,
around
we
there.
did reduce it, but it still sounds like you're gonna stay within the budget this year, which is good.
Too. We had a slow start. Obviously, we didn't really get any weather until really, we had a couple little things in December. And then it was fairly quiet. So we did have a slow start to the season, and it's kind of starting to come back and haunt us now. But so we'll see
It's
how
heating up.
we'll see how we finish off.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. You
Yeah,
also
and
want to
we,
make
and we
sure
still got to top off the salt sheds
at
at the end of the
year.
Right,
season.
right, fill them
Exactly.
up. But that's good that you're staying within that line item.
Any other thoughts, questions on this?
No, I'm good.
Suzanne, are you good?
I think so. I'm just looking at it quickly.
Okay.
I think it
Okay,
looks
take
good to
your
me. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So that would move us on to capital requests.
Okay. Bring those up.
Yeah, the roll-off truck is a no-brainer. We need to replace it.
Okay, roll off first. You guys see the roll off on the screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Is it there yet?
It's still in your file.
Flowing.
It shows that it's working, like it's trying to get.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, multiple shares on the go right now, so
Rich, if the
Barking at me.
if we're fortunate enough to purchase this roll-off truck, how far out would we be for a delivery on it?
That is a huge question at the moment. There's a kind of a supply and demand issue with all equipment at this time, just because of COVID related stuff.
Yep.
As far as parts availability and so on. So I did discuss with I only got one price so far because I want to
Yeah.
go through the process, and before we purchase, I'll get my 3 quotes. But so with Freightliner, who I got the quote through, they said that they may be able to fill the order by August or September, depending on how soon we order it.
Well, we wouldn't be able to order until the budget is
Well,
passed.
that's what I told them. I said, at the earliest would be, the beginning of July. So, or close thereof. So it's, that was what that was based on. Obviously, if the budget process gets extended, then it's going to put us that much further out.
So, I mean, before we would get a new truck, we're still looking at roughly probably 9 months.
Yes.
And that's 9 months of potential for breakdown cost repairs.
Yeah.
I don't have any further questions on that.
On the truck?
The roll off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had it
No.
in last year. It's
No.
needed.
No, I thought you meant you didn't have any more capital request questions.
Oh, no.
There's other capital requests.
Yeah, I see that. I've got the PDF up.
So, Rich, would you like me to do the 9-ton next?
Sure.
Okay. Let me know when it's up on the screen, guys.
I feel like, or like it might be on another page, another window,
Yeah, it might be. Hang on.
because all we're seeing is your file.
Okay, stop. I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to reshare. Okay, 9-ton. Okay, do
There
you
you
see
go.
any, Okay.
Okay, Rich, tell us about this.
So basically, I wasn't even, it was kind of on my radar to be wanting or needing another 9-ton. I would really like to be looking at buying one every 2 to 3 years. And that's not just to replace what we have. That's kind of a program that other towns around us are involved in. They buy a truck every 2 to 3 years. It just keeps rotating their fleet, so they don't have 20 some odd year old trucks. One of the problems we're having now is so we have a couple of older trucks that are still in service. The number 3 truck has been retired to just being a water truck because the body on it is unsafe for to hold materials. The number 5 truck we converted into a chip truck with a chip body on it for tree removal and stuff, to pull a chipper around and haul wood chips. But we have recently put that back into service as a plow truck without the capabilities of salting because we had some major breakdowns. The number 10 truck is a 94 International. That was our only spare. So there's some safety concerns with the chassis on that truck and the non-existent floorboards. And we were going to patch some of that up just to kind of keep it around as a spare. And then the radiator blew out on it. The parts to re-core the radiator are no longer available. So we had the option of either having a core built for it or buying a new radiator, which was still available. The cost for the new radiator was $3,800. And that was 5 to 6 weeks out for delivery. And that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the truck isn't, if we were to auction the truck tomorrow, we'd be lucky to get a few $1,000s for it. So I couldn't fathom spending, the money on the radiator plus whatever other repairs would have to be made in the process, coolant hoses, belts, stuff like that. So that truck has been removed from service for safety reasons and the fact that it is broken. So we currently don't have a spare. We had one truck that was at the dealer getting some engine work done to it. So we were without that truck for a few weeks. The body on the number 11 truck almost fell off. So we ended up cutting the remainder of it off and we repurposed that unit with a flatbed. And we kind of cannibalized one of the other trucks that we had recently taken out of service, was replaced last year, one of the 1-tons. We took the dump hoist and the hinge assembly and a few other parts off of that unit to put the number 11 truck back in service with a jet sander on it as opposed to an all-season body. So we probably spent about $5,000 in repairs on that truck. The body estimate for replacing the body that we cut off of it was about $40,000. So there was no way I could justify the cost, let alone approach the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen for the funding, because it's just not worth spending it. But we were able to get that truck back together, get a couple more years out of it the way it is now. It actually works out very nicely. And I think that it's going to be a little bit more suitable for use throughout the year with the flatbed on it. So it just, so that was an issue. We were without that truck for about 3 or 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks, obviously middle of winter. So that was 2 trucks we were down. And then one of the plows on one of the new trucks, one of our employees caught a rock on one of the dirt roads on the edge and it destroyed the plow frame. And it turned out that parts availability was not readily accessible. So we had to factory order the parts, and those were about 2 weeks out for delivery. So thankfully now we've gotten those parts. We've got that unit back together. So that truck is back together. The number 11 truck is back together. We got the number 28 truck back from the dealership. Seems to be working okay now. But the 28 truck, I think we're over $12,000 in repairs now in the last 4 months. And it's a 2001 International. So it's we got a lot more invested in it than we really should, but unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles. We don't have a replacement program in place as of yet. So my hopes would be, at this point in time, we've kind of struggled for the last few weeks being down equipment. We actually had more drivers than we had people to put, seats to put them in. In a snowstorm where it's all hands on deck, everybody here has a plow route. So it's when they don't have a truck to drive, it makes it kind of difficult. And it's also difficult for us to get our job done. So that was where the request came from for a 9-ton. It's definitely needed. I didn't really want to see it show up in this budget just because of the financial state that we're going to be in going forward, and saying, hey, we need, there's some significant increases to this department. But unfortunately, I feel like my hands are kind of tied in that, and it's something that's needed.
Rich, do you have a spreadsheet with your vehicles on them and maybe
Yes.
the dates that you want to sort of a plan? You talked about, having every couple of years asking for a new truck or vehicle. It might be beneficial when going to the Board of Finance that we have something like that we can share with them that shows all the vehicles and when you would like to, what years you would like to replace them.
I can put
Does that make sense?
Yeah, we do have a spreadsheet that has all of our units on it, so I can get that together and put something together saying, we should be out of this truck by X point in time.
I think it just gives them an idea that it shows that you're planning and processing, and you're not just throwing it out there that you need this or that you have a plan in place, and it better explains the request.
It's been kind of a struggle coming into this, department. I know that I think Saturday or Sunday it'll be my 3-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I have about 3 times more gray hair than I had 3 years ago. So,
but you still have hair.
I do still have hair.
Yeah, that gives you character.
Yeah. So like, I've been kind of wading through a lot over the last 3 years, especially when it comes to, equipment, and then also the facilities and the roads, and really striving to make positive improvements for the town, utilizing, what we have, or, what we can supply. And I think I've been successful at that. One of the things, I've had multiple conversations with people, whether it's public or people within the town system, about, the age of equipment. And one of the things that I like to use for a description is, vehicles. Some of us have no issue driving a vehicle that's 20 or 30 years old, and using that as our daily driver because we don't have a car payment. It makes it simple, but we're the person that's operating and maintaining that vehicle, and maybe we only go to and from work or around town or whatever. We're not taking long trips. These trucks that we have, they're vehicles, but they're tools. They're very expensive tools. So obviously, this truck, this 9-ton truck, the current price on that unit is $202,000. The last one we bought was about $10,000 less than that, and that was only 2.5, 3 years ago.
2018, yeah.
So, the price has gone up $10,000. So it's an expensive tool, but most people look at it as it's an expensive vehicle. So, basically what I use for an explanation is, if you had to drive to Boston every single day for work, would you drive a 1979 Pinto? Or would you want something a little bit newer, more reliable that was going to hold together? So when it starts snowing, we have to get in the truck and go. If it's half rotted to death, has a hard time staying running, or isn't safe to drive, or it just doesn't start, then we can't do our job because the tools didn't work. And I have to provide a guarantee that we're going to get our job done. And in order to do that, we have to have the right tools. And part of that is not being extravagant. It's not buying extra tools just to say that we have them, or getting rid of one tool to buy a new shiny one just because the old one has some scratches on it. At this point in time, it comes down to the reliability to safely do our job. And, now that we're in 2021, the requirements for us to do that work are very demanding. There is no longer an understanding of, well, it just started snowing an hour ago. That's why the town guys haven't plowed the roads yet, because it's really not enough snow to plow. Now it's, how come my road's not black, even though it's only been snowing for an hour? So it's, and we balance that. We try to make the right calls on how to handle each, situation, but we can't do our job without the tools.
And the public does not want to hear why their road ain't plowed.
Correct.
And I totally understand exactly what you're saying, because I feel the same way about my own vehicle. I wouldn't want to be driving into Boston with a well, I might like to drive a Pinto again, but
That would be cool. I
yeah,
don't see too many of them around.
I had a Pinto.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
did you
really?
have one?
I had a Pinto. I did. My senior year of high school, 1982, I had a Pinto.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
What year was it?
I really don't know.
Oh.
I
They were
don't
made in
remember.
the early 70s.
Yeah, it had to have been like 10 years old.
My first car was a 76 Chevette with a luggage rack on top.
Oh, I remember the Chevettes. Very cool. Yeah, so I appreciate what you're saying, Rich. I totally agree with you. And I think that having a plan in place is exactly what you have to do. You can't just willy-nilly, I think I need this today. And you have something behind it that that you can explain, that you can make sense. Planning ahead. That's what you have to do. And I like that.
Absolutely.
All right, any other questions on this or thoughts on this capital request?
No, good.
Okay, move on
Okay,
to
let me get the next
the
one.
road work. We got two more, I think. Road work and then the
Yeah.
bridge inspection and design work.
So will I do road work first, Rich?
Whichever one is fine.
Okay. And let me share that. Okay, you should be good to go.
Now, this road is pretty much self-explanatory. Anybody that drives it knows that it needs to be replaced.
Wait, which one is that? Aquatic Town Farm or Aquatic Road?
Aquatic
Road.
Road.
Yeah, I might spend a little time on that road.
We actually did some core samples on that road last year for when we were trying to get a grant for it. That kind of process fell through, but it was very surprising to see what that road was made up of. We did 4 core samples throughout the length of the road, which really isn't many. But when we drilled the road, starting from the aquatic area, we drilled through like a 3/4 inch top layer of like oil and stone, maybe a little asphalt. And then there was like a gap. There was a 1 inch, 1.25 inch gap of just stone that whatever it had been, whether it was cold in place or an overlay at one point or whatever it may have been, all of the fine materials had washed out of it. And we actually 3 of the 4 core samples that we took on that road, it was basically like a candy coating with, it looked like somebody paved with 3/4 inch stone. There was no dirt, no gravel, no asphalt, no nothing in it. And that was a very quick explanation as to why the road is in the shape that it's in and why the potholes are so reoccurring, because there's really nothing holding it together. And I have no idea why that even happened. I've never seen it. I asked some other people from different asphalt companies and stuff, what their thoughts were on it. And I haven't been able to find an explanation as to what would have caused that. But it was very baffling that was like that. But it does explain the condition of the road, and it just the water is somehow getting between the 2 surfaces and just washing everything out, and then it blows apart and creates more potholes.
Rich, what did we have in last year's budget? What was the request?
Hang on.
Don't remember.
375.
Okay.
That was what was that the request or that was what was issued?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you requested 500,000. The selectmen reduced that down to 400,000 and the Board of Finance settled with 375.
Yes. So traditionally, when I started here, there was two line items for road work. One of them was road resurfacing, and one of them was chip sealing. So we had combined both of them because I said that first off, there wasn't a need to have two separate line items, and also that we wouldn't be doing any real chip sealing work for a while because the roads that we have don't call for that process at the moment. So between those two line items, the average on yearly town funding was 425,000. And then last year, the prior year, we had a bunch of carryover money, and I spent, I believe it was $1,686,000 on road resurfacing. We did, I want to say it was 6.85 miles of road. That number is now, I believe we're over the 10% mark. In the last 2.5 years, I've paved paved over 10% of roads in town. So that's a huge undertaking and accomplishment. And I really want to continue with that. And with this request, the Quantic Road project is estimated at about $705,000 without drainage or guardrail work. That's just for the resurfacing. Guardrails is now included in that road resurfacing fund. That used to be its own line item. The Board of Finance cut that out because we hadn't really done any guardrail work in a few years. And I know that, I don't know if Orla remembers, Amy might, we did the guardrails on Wilsonville Road by the park last year.
Okay.
And then did some repairs. We did the ones on Hill Road where there was a car accident that we didn't have any information on to charge somebody's insurance company. I think we did one other little job on West Thompson Road. And between those three jobs, it was like, it wasn't a lot of work and it was $45,000.
Wow.
So that adds up very quickly.
Mm.
So what I'm looking at this year is we have the box culvert currently out to bid for West Thompson Road by Canoyer Road. So that project we're looking to have completed this August. And also our major road project for the year would be to do Quantic Road. So we're looking at a cost estimate of $260,000 for the box culvert and a little over $705,000 for Quantic Road. And then with the funds that we have, I kind of held back on some funds from last year just to try to make sure we had enough money to do this stuff this year. I knew the box culvert was coming. We've been planning it for 2 years now. So I wanted to make sure that money was there, which it is. So with the funding that we're expecting to receive from our government funding that we bring in, and so I'm trying to remember how it worked out. So with the money that we're expecting to see before the end of this fiscal year from incoming funds, plus whatever the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen opt to put into this year's budget for capital expense for road work. After the incoming funds, we're expecting to use $262,000 out of whatever town funds are allotted to cover the cost of these two projects. And then on top of that, whatever remaining money would be used for any other projects that we take on this year, whether it was, last year we did some road repairs where we did a one-day rental on milling machine. They came in, they milled out a section of road that was in really bad shape, and then we paved it. There's some of that stuff that I would like to fit into the schedule this year, stuff that really needs to happen. That the extra money would cover the cost of our coal patch or hot patch, pothole patching, and any other road work that we do for the year. So the $500,000, obviously I could probably use twice that, no problem. But obviously that's not really affordable at the moment.
So can I just understand that the 1/22/22 date, that's what you're hoping to have in next January
No,
encumbered?
I think that date was supposed to be 21. That was.
Okay, that's what I thought. Is that what you
Oh, it
have?
should be. Yep,
Okay, is that what you have encumbered to date?
that's
That
what
you're-
we have as a balance available today.
A balance available, and you're hoping to add it to whatever is appropriated in the next budget to be able to complete these projects,
Right.
correct? Okay,
Right. So
Okay.
what's on this request is, my math skills are failing me, but, plus 200.
So,
So with the two projects that we're looking at right now that are on this particular request of what we're doing this year, that's $965,000 is what we're expecting to spend on just these two projects without doing anything else or having any funding available for pothole patching or any road repair, other road repairs, guardrails, stuff like that.
gotcha. The money that we receive from the state for road resurfacing or whatever it's called, that's not in that 585, is it?
Part of it
it
is,
is, yeah, it
Yes.
includes.
It is.
yes.
Well, there's three
So
different
we really need to
sources.
kind of,
So there's three different sources of funding we get from the state for road resurfacing.
right,
It's approximately totaled about 300 or about 430,000. 253 of it is town road aid that has been fully received. What we don't have in there is LOSIP, and what
Yep.
we don't have is MRSA, and that's usually a little bit less than 200 grand.
so I wonder if we should have a narrative to the side of that explains what is going into that dollar amount.
Sure.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yep,
Because the more
absolutely.
information we provide about the dollar and cents, I think the better understanding.
Right.
And I like the direction that you're going in. I think Rich, you probably have a spreadsheet of what you've already completed. I think you presented it last year. What roads you've already completed. And I think it would be beneficial to have something, what your plan is in the next couple of years. I know you have kind of a plan in place of every couple of years doing a big road resurfacing or so what roads you're looking to do kind of thing.
Mhm.
I just think it shows the Board of Finance again that you're not just all willy-nilly, I think I'll do Quadic this year and Fabian and whatever roads. It shows them that you have a plan in place on how to redo the roads. And I think that's valuable. That's the only thing I got.
Nothing else on the road repair stuff?
I'm good.
Good. Okay,
Next one up.
final one is bridge inspections and design work.
Okay, there you go. It's up on the screen, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
So I know if the selectmen recall, last year we attempted to get $50,000 towards bridge inspections or bridge work that was upcoming. Well, now it's really come due. We just, Janet Blanchett from J&D put together 2 RFPs. One is a request for proposal for bridge inspections, and that's the under 20-foot bridges. We've discussed that in our Board of Selectmen meetings. And then the second would be for preliminary engineering design work for the Buckley Hill Road bridges so that we can hopefully, or it is the, not hopefully, but it is the intention to apply for federal grant funding in November when it comes due. But we need that preliminary design before we can even apply for the grant. So,
I believe now that has been discussed, it will be state funding.
Oh, it's state funding?
Yes, those two bridges apparently are not eligible for the federal program.
Oh, well, what does that change it? What does that change then?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it totally changes the funding amount. It may. I know that I believe the federal program is an 80-20 split, 20% on our end. The state program is a 50-50.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's other things that we can apply also. So we're looking into that as well.
Why is it not eligible?
There was a reason that was given from the guy from the bridge department from DOT. I don't remember offhand exactly what it was.
Okay.
I know
So should
it was
this
in one
page
of the
be
emails.
rewritten?
What was that?
Will this page need to be rewritten?
No, this is for design work.
Oh, okay, okay, so that's not
50,000
gonna change.
No, this was actually an estimate because of the information that we needed to compile and then getting the RFP together to go out. So J&D just did all of the RFP work for us. And so we're putting, I think that is getting advertised this week or next week.
Yep.
So we're a little behind schedule on the amounts. So this is, like I said, this is a cost estimate for both of those projects. This was given from J&D as what we should put in for a budget request. It may increase a little, it may decrease a little. We'll know more once we get the RFPs in. We're hoping to finalize that stuff before we have to finalize the budget. So
Okay.
we'll have more solid numbers.
Good.
Hey, Rich, what did Janet think the cost potentially could be, or did you check with one of the other towns on what the cost for the bridge inspections might be? Because it's an RFP for actually doing the inspections, correct?
Yes, well, that was this. I probably should have done two capital requests. That probably would have made more sense. I had,
There's time to change that.
Yeah,
There
we
it
can
is.
do that. Yeah.
yeah, we could split it up and do, I could check with them and see, what their thoughts were for cost estimates for the inspections versus cost estimates for the design for the other side. That would probably break it down and make a little bit more sense. I really wasn't thinking about it at the time. I was like, well, bridges, we'll just put it in one, but I
Right.
think you're right. It probably would make more sense the other way.
Yeah, you're better off splitting it up.
Yeah. What has Putnam had theirs? I can't remember now.
Yeah,
Did you speak to Travis?
Putnam uses WMC. Travis wasn't able to get me the information because the closure at the time of doing this, their town hall was closed because of COVID. So he was able to contact the person that would have the information, but she was unable to access it because it was at the town hall and she was working from home.
And I'm curious too, how many bridges they have in comparison to us.
I believe he did tell me that they have, did I put on, how many do we have? 15?
We have 12, I think. Is it
12?
12?
12, right? Yes, 12 total. I believe they had 15.
Okay.
So they would be a little bit
Okay.
more than us. So that might actually help us if we could get their number.
Right.
Yeah,
They would be hopefully what would be considered a little bit higher than us. So that would give us a little bit better example.
Yeah. That would be helpful.
definitely.
And the RFPs are definitely up on the website, and will be being advertised in the Norwich Bulletin.
Okay.
All right. Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
So Rich, what I'm going to suggest you do is break out the two capital, just send me two separate capital requests.
Yeah, I'll try to get that information
Yeah.
together by the mid part of next week and get them over.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions? All right. Thanks, Rich.
Thank
Thank
you all.
you.
Have a good day.
You
Yeah,
too.
you too. So the only last one is mine. Let me just
Yeah.
get rid of these documents.
Oh, I
here
forgot
before
about
close.
yours.
I got a whole bunch of documents that are open, but let me get this document up with the budget.
Shoot, I just closed it out. Oh, well.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, let me know when you're ready and when you can see it on the screen.
It's up.
You can see it.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so I'm not putting anything in for Paula's. I'm not sure what's happening with there. We're talking about salaries. I'm again requesting the correctness of my salaries for the last based on when I started. So just give you an idea, I've received 8% over the salary that I started with in 2014. And as I've mentioned in previous years, it was certainly agreed at the time that should the issue come up with regards to my position going from a 40 to a 35-hour work week, it will be reviewed, and to date it has not been reviewed. So to bring me up to a 40-hour week of which I generally work minimum anyway, it will be an additional 11,841. I continue to be probably the least paid of all of the finance directors in northeastern Connecticut. I know Woodstock was way below me, but she got a pay increase, so she's pretty close to me now. And just give you a comparison, all of the, I think I'm probably the longest serving of each of the finance directors within our surrounding towns, and with the exception of one, I'm the lowest paid. So, last year I worked with Amy in volunteering that pay reduction, taking away any of the pay increases last year because of the year that was in it. But I think we need to look at what we're doing in relation to the salaries at the town hall. There continues to be a disparity in the salaries in general in the town hall compared to the other entity in our town and the surrounding towns, and that just does not relate to just mine specific. I know I earned my counterpart at the school earned 25% higher than I did in fiscal 20. That just gives you an idea and perspective of what we're talking about. I know the clerical positions are in the same boat. Um, Pretty much everybody in the town hall earns a lot less than anybody of their same position in the other entity and the surrounding towns. So I guess it's up to you guys I can certainly provide you information. I have in the past given you guys information with regards to how I compare to each of the surrounding towns, and I'm happy to update that information. But it's not, I think it's pretty much, you know, this, you know what I'm trying to tell you. I've shared it with you numerous times in the past. So if anybody has any questions about that, I'm happy to share it. Otherwise, I'll move on to the
Yeah,
meetings.
could you update that information in
Yeah,
comparison, please?
yeah, I will. On the meetings and conferences, so like every other department head that's been here, we didn't use it. I'm just going to scroll down to the next page. So the only thing I've used so far this current year was professional affiliations. The travel, all of our meetings are remote, same as everybody else. The meetings and fees, so I budgeted $1,000. We didn't hold our conference in the fall. The Munis conference is online for the months of April and May this year. Paula and I have been looking at some of the aspects of it, and we may attend 1 or 2 days, maybe 1 day each. So I did put the estimate in for fiscal 21 based on possibly attending a couple of those Munis sessions. On the bank charges is pretty much what we're seeing. Last year was catch up on prior years, just so you see the 926. I worked with the auditors with regards to trying to get as much of the old activity, both the Board of Ed account and our account, catch up with regards to some of the outstanding items that had not been reconciled, and most of them related to bank charges. So that's why that was high, but I expected it's going to be back again. I do need to put in about 250 just to cover deposit books. We will most likely be ordering a lot of the materials that we only order every number of years next year for all of the different bank accounts. So I did put it in there for 250. Um, Beyond that, I put in there 1800, and if we go back up, I did include the Munis conference, and that's for fiscal 21. That is in the fall, in the spring of 2022. I don't even know where the Munis conference is at this stage, but I am proposing, if it's reasonably local, that I could go. I do find those hugely beneficial. And if they do end up holding it, whether it's online or whether it's in person, I would like for at least myself, if not Paula Parshalov, to attend it. So, and the rest of it are the other conferences, which I'm not sure are going to happen. But I know all of the organizations. It's, people talk about these conferences just being about networking. It's not, it's really educational. And in talking with a lot of the finance directors, we really feel that we missed out on those conferences in 2020, just with regards to whether it's a GASB update, whether it's regards to what's going on at the state level. Um, there's some really good speakers that they get to attend to these conferences. So we're really hoping that they're going to be back again, if anything, online in 2021. We're not hearing about it yet, though. So that's pretty much it. As I say, the increases I'm looking at here are my salary. Paula's increase is based on, we did pay out the union employees for 2% during the current fiscal year, but as it stands at the moment, I'm not sure whether we're going to be offering them pay increases in fiscal 22. And the other one is in relation to adding a Munis conference to our meeting and fees and adding $100 to our bank charges. Does anyone have any questions?
Your meetings and fees, Orla, is there anything that we can encumber?
Yeah, I can. I don't always like to do that, but I
No, I know.
certainly can. Yeah, I can do so if needs be. For example, if we have if we have the $1,000, and if I end up having 500 back, maybe I encumber that 500 with the anticipation of using it for Munis next year. One of the things I think that Tyler is going to do is, because they were offering for the very first time this online presence for their annual Connect conference. There's a lot of people that will prefer this over attending a conference with the additional costs involved in travel and accommodation. I think they're going to push it going forward because they can still earn some income on it. They still have to charge you. So if that's the case, then I would really push to have Paula and I attend it next year online. So if you guys are comfortable with me accruing it, then I'll probably encumber the $500. But yeah, we can talk more about that closer to the end of the year and see what happens.
Okay.
Any questions?
I don't have anything. I'm kind of eager to get over to the town hall because I see a few snowflakes.
The bills are down in Amy's office,
Yes,
and I do have the two printed. I'm going down to pick up the mail because Paula's gone for the day. I'm going to bring those down and put them in your mailbox
I
too.
would appreciate it. So I
Yeah.
can run in, sign my name and leave.
Now, do you want me to print a copy of the agendas for you, Suzanne, also?
No,
Okay, just the
nope,
backup.
nope, that would be good. Just, nope, just the supporting information.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Orla, are you going to be updating any of the changes to send us up a new file?
I will. It won't be until next week, though. I'm flat out with the board meeting tonight and then
Yep.
audit. We're determined to get this audit filed by next Friday. And I've received 3 texts during this meeting from the auditors already this morning saying, "Are you going to get back to us?" I just said nothing before 2 o'clock. So I know today and tomorrow I'm going to be swamped. But yeah, if we're not meeting till Tuesday, I can work on all this stuff on Monday.
Yeah, okay, that'd be
Get
great.
out.
That would work.
Yeah, I'll get out
Yeah.
as much as I can to you guys.
Yeah, because Rich is going to give you some info and
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I do want to, one of the things we go through is that revenue, and revenue is usually something I look at after the fact. But I'm not sure whether you guys are aware, but the governor did issue his first proposed budget this week. Not a lot of changes to Thompson, really not.
Good.
Most of it's level. We are due to get some other funding, but I think it's going to be education related because the Board of Ed is losing that alliance money that they've been getting for the
Right,
last few years.
right.
But the good news is they did get their construction money today, $477 or $477,000. It finally arrived in the bank today, and they've been
Good.
waiting for that since November.
and that's the construction money for.
For Alliance, it's Alliance Construction.
Oh,
I
okay.
know Melinda has
Yeah.
big plans to spend that money as soon as it came in. So, okay, I
Right.
think, are we good?
I think we're good. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 1 PM.
Okay.
Sounds good. Second.
Okay, all in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Suzanne's on mute, so. All right,
You got two edits.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I muted myself. I started packing my stuff.
okay. You're in favor of adjournment?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I even did a second.
She already left the building.
I'm in the car.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye.